Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and we talk about movies, TV shows, and streaming services. If you want to catch us live, you can go to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames at around 11:20 and watch us stream there. If you don't have time to catch us live, that's fine. We're posted on YouTube and Rooster Teeth, so go find us there. If you don't want to look at our mugs while we're talking, you can go to your favorite podcast services and find us there.
I was trying to remember the name of the others. Like we used SoundCloud, and then I was like, what was the other one we used to use?
Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Bandcamp.
Bandcamp,
right.
yeah.
Back in the day.
There was another one though. Not Streamlabs.
Well, SoundCloud distributes everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Bandcamp is where you used to have to pay to get it early.
Right.
Yeah. And if you want to help support us, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you could sign up at any tier to get us not any tier, at some tier
Lots
to get
of
us
tiers.
ad free.
Yeah.
You could also be a part of the show if you sign up for the fan tier.
It's the bronze tier.
Oh, it's so good too. You can be part of that show, KFAF, all the shows, all the shows.
That's true. That's true. It is.
Listen, I'm always out there. I'll always be closing. Do you see what I'm saying?
I got it.
Always be promoting.
I got
ABP.
it. Man, I am low energy today. I am your host, Kevin Coelho, and to my immediate right, one Nick Scarpino, the man with the three-fingered movie review. Nicholas.
Yes, sir.
You watch anything good?
Last weekend I watched. I sat down and watched. What I think is the final season of Jessica Jones.
It is indeed.
Now, here's the deal about Jessica Jones.
Tell me about it.
I've been a fan of that show since season 1. I know it's been a polarizing show because some people didn't like season 1.
Really?
A lot of people. Season 2 was very weird.
I thought
I feel
season
like
1 was well received.
Yeah.
Season 2 was.
Is that how it was? Well, because I loved the Kilgrave season, which was season 1. Season 2,
weird.
we all got through. Season 3 came out. I did. I watched the whole thing. I don't know what it is about the show, but I like the detective vibe. I like that it's different. There's not, to me, a superhero show or a movie like that has that sort of darker, noir tone to it. And so I really dig that. I like Kristen Ritter. For the most part, I like the people they bring in for the rest of the cast. This season is, unfortunately, it's so hard to like. There's so many good elements of it, but there's so many cringeworthy elements of it as well. And it sort of smacks with sort of the death throes of something that once was great. You know? You get to the end of it and you're like,
then, huh?
Okay. I definitely think it's worth watching. If you like these characters, there's some interesting things that happens to them. How they get there is weird. Sure. But I think the bad guy is pretty compelling in this one, and I think that there are some interesting things that they do. And overall, I again, like I said, I think it's just, I love noir. I'm a sucker for noir detective stories. I love that it's in New York. I love they shoot in New York. So it's good. I don't know. But
So you think season 3 is good?
I think it was enjoyable. Let's put it that way. There are
all 13 episodes of it.
There are a
many?
solid 7 episodes that are fun.
Got it.
And a solid literally at a certain point they ran out of shit to do. They just started telling the story from someone else's perspective. And I'm like, don't do that. Let's not do that. And it's the person that I least like in this whole thing, which is it ends up being her friend Trish, who plays a bigger role in this one. Yeah. And they just gave this poor actress nothing good to say. Man, the writing is just bad. Her writing is so bad.
Sounds like not a show that.
But Jessica Jones and the new guy in her life, they have a really good chemistry and they have really good banter back and forth. So it's hard to say. I recommend the show, but it's hard. It's hard to not have criticisms of it because there's so many moments you're like, God, that's so off, and then they'll have some other moments you're like, oh, this is cool, this is fun, this is what I want from Jessica Jones. And I don't even remember really what happened last season, except I think it was with her mom, and there was some interesting moral stuff there.
I don't even remember.
It's always like one episode you're like, oh, that was pretty cool, and the next episode you're like, oh my, that was so fucking cringeworthy that you might as well bring back Foggy from Daredevil, and we all know how much I hated that fucking character. Bring him. Oh, he was the worst.
You're the worst.
The moral center, the moral high ground, the guy that's just complete, all upside, oh God, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah,
terrible.
Optimism, Fuck it.
But optimism is fine if the character is optimistic, and this is another issue I have with the Jessica Jones franchise is that she's the opposite, right? She's always the negative curmudgeon. And at a certain point, you're like, can you just not, you can't possibly have that many bad days. Like at some point, you're going to be in a slightly better mood.
Yeah.
Do you always have to act so
get a free coffee?
It's all
something
so one-dimensional,
up.
and then occasionally you get moments where she does have a little bit more dimensions, and you're like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're a fan of the Marvel TV shows that were on Netflix, I definitely might as well finish it out. But just get through just for Christ's sake, just Marvel or Disney, if you're watching, make 6 episodes. 6 to 8 episodes.
13 episodes for the last.
Fucking
That's
ridiculous.
It's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
6 to 8, I think, is the sweet spot.
And to your immediate right and my immediate left, one Joey, the movie bros herself, Noelle.
Hello.
What's up, Jay Noelle? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What'd y'all see last night? Y'all go with the Thursday night movie screen.
We got the
Exactly.
Thursday night
Yeah.
movie squad, which is usually just me and Kevin.
Yeah, it's a good squad.
So we watched
Movie bros.
yesterday.
Oh,
Yesterday.
I want to see that this weekend. Is it?
I had fun.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Like reviews that
It's
I
at like
saw,
60% on Rotten
Yeah.
I
Tomatoes.
think it's better than that.
Yeah,
But
not much better.
Well, I feel like it's worth it just to hear the Beatles music.
Totally.
And
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 that's
he's
like that
he's
aspect.
a really good performer.
Yeah, I don't know that guy's name, but I just judging off of the trailer and seeing it, I'm like, this guy needs to be a big star. He's got what it takes.
He really does a fantastic job. The movie is, I'd say, a lot of fun. There are some romantic aspects that are kind of like whatever.
I mean, but I'm not. Here's my
Yeah.
here's my question to you guys. I'm going in expecting it to just be a kind of a fun couple hours, and that's it. I don't think it's going to be. It looks to me like it's kind of not. I'm not going to say service level, but exactly what you're getting in the trailer is what
Yeah.
you're getting 2
Yeah,
hours. That's all I care. That's all I want.
And that's it. And
Right?
if that's where your bar is, I think you're gonna have a good time.
Like I'm not
I
expecting
agree.
it to be like
Yeah.
Booksmart, where I'm like, this.
No.
There could be a
Yeah,
lot more
yeah,
depth
yeah.
to this trailer, and then when I go, I'm like, I'm blown away by it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
It's a fun concept that I think is well explored. The ending, without going into spoilers, I personally didn't love.
Well,
It gets a
don't
little
spoil it.
weird.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
I mean, the whole movie you assume is going to be weird because
It wraps up a little bit. Yeah. There's always that like suspension of disbelief you have to
of course.
maintain
Yeah.
with this. I thought it was fun. I like Lily James.
I like Lily James too.
Me too.
She's really fun. I think she was fun in this. There are fun side characters that I think make the movie really fun.
absolutely. I feel like the movie did a really good job casting everyone.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that there's anyone like Kate McKinnon is in it, and
I love her.
she they use her just the right amount.
Yeah.
And she's so good.
I like that line she has in the trailer where she's like, you're going to write a bunch of songs and we're going to make a bunch of money and we're going to take most of it.
Yeah.
And that's totally
That's
the tone
her
of
character, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon.
And I think with her, sometimes stuff is like put too much of her in. And so you get kind of over it. And I think this is like a good
The
amount.
only other thing I really remember her seeing her in was the 2016 Ghostbusters.
And I liked her in that.
Yeah. Well, even
I just
like
like her
some
so much. Her
SNL
comedy.
stuff. I'm like,
She was
I
in
don't-
some
I don't
movie.
watch it.
What was the name of that
really?
movie? The one where the it's like a bachelorette party and they accidentally kill someone.
is that with Kate
I don't think I
McKinnon?
ever saw it.
Yeah, Girls' Night Out maybe.
Girls Night, no, maybe. Yeah.
But I
One was
enjoy it.
with Scarlett Johansson. I know that. And then there was another one with, I think Tiffany Haddish had one.
I don't know.
And then, I don't think Kate McKinnon was in the Tiffany Haddish one though.
She was in one of them, and she plays in
Rough Night is what someone said.
Yeah, Rough Night's it.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
That's
That's
right.
what Nerd Today in the chat said. Thanks, Nerd Today.
So yeah, we saw that, which
Yeah.
was really fun. And then over the weekend, I watched Escape Room, which was like a movie that came out
Oh
earlier
yeah, that was like
this year,
that
last
horror
year.
movie where they all go to like they get invited to like a thing at a corporate thing and then they got to get out of it. And
Yeah.
it turns out it's one
Where,
big
where
escape
did you
room.
see that?
We rented it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's on. I think it was like Apple TV or whatever. It's exactly what you think one of those movies is going to be. I think it's an interesting concept. I like all those puzzly type things. It's kind of Saw-esque, but not as gory.
Sorry, real quick. People are saying The Spy Who Dumped Me was the other movie that I remember seeing Kate McKinnon, and I fucking love that movie.
That movie's
It was
coming to
way
streaming
better than I
services.
thought it was
So
going
funny.
to be.
Yeah.
Stupid fun.
I'm glad I
mean,
noted that. 'Cause-
Again, right in the middle of the scale there. Not a good movie.
Yeah.
But when it catches you in the right mood, it's stupidly
Well,
fun.
and when you have low expectations
Oh,
for
zero
it,
expectations.
it's
a
way more
You're
fun
at
than you
your
think it's gonna be.
sister-in-law's house. We can't decide on which movie to watch. We just ordered pizza. Just
Yep.
throw on this movie. We're just doing that. That's all we're doing tonight. That's the kind of movie it is.
Yeah. Ours was we were stuck in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
My friend, pregnant, couldn't drink. We couldn't go out. It's like, well, I
That's
guess
a
we're
horrible
watching a movie.
situation. That's why
Yeah.
you don't have kids.
She has two now. They're
Well, let me
cute.
tell you, anything where you can't drink,
They're cute.
I don't want to do it.
Yep.
I don't want to do it.
You don't even drink that much.
It's true, but I like my freedom. I like the
likes to
You
opportunity.
have
have
to be
the
able to
choice.
do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's fun. They set it up for a sequel, which I heard we're getting next year, 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
something.
That
I think
sounds
it's
right.
fun if you. I don't know. I like horror movies, and I feel like my bar for those is fairly low because they tend to garner that kind of reaction. But it was a fun afternoon watch. It's probably similar to The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I still, it reminds me. I still need to see the Death Day movies. I gotta watch.
Those are actually good.
Yeah, I have to watch these movies. Maybe I'll watch them this weekend.
They really are. I very much enjoy both of them.
You don't like? Do you like horror movies?
I like camp horror movies.
Okay.
So, like for instance, I stayed away from Drag Me to Hell for the longest time until I finally realized that it was because I was like, oh, it's Sam Raimi, but he made a horror movie, and then people were like, no, it's a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like snap zooms and gore and people throwing up blood on each other. I was like, oh, I'll watch. So shit like that, I don't mind. And watching the trailer for Happy Death Day 2 to you, yes, this is a movie up my alley.
Oh my gosh, the man,
Finally.
the myth, the legend.
One Josh Macuga just walked in.
Yeah, you come.
Yeah.
You want to? You can come sit and say hi to the folks on the shock mic. Give me a hug.
See, guys. I don't want to. It's not professional to come on a show.
Well,
totally
we're
fine.
not really
So
professional.
excited,
here.
very excited.
We're not professional.
You can catch Josh on We Have Cool Friends on Monday.
You can also Google an amazing clip of Josh from, I guess, people from the movie Us decided to deliver some stuff to him, and he screamed for 45 minutes straight. It's one of my favorite
It's
things
great.
I've ever seen.
Scaredy cat. Oh, no good.
You know, we fantasize about renting out an entire theater and just putting you and Andy in the middle of it.
We
and
have
just
had this
showing horror movies.
conversation.
I bring this up
For
all
it
the
too,
time.
we were
For
thinking
it too,
maybe
we want to just rent a theater out, put you and Andy in there, and just
stick a
see
GoPro
what
on you
happens,
guys.
yeah.
Do you want to join us for the Conjuring interview? Greg and I are trying to pitch that.
No, he doesn't.
It's
want
not
to.
confirmed.
Greg and I are pitching it.
Thank you.
Andy also
That's
not a big
Andy.
fan
That was a
of
cool high
movies.
five too.
That was a great high
Yeah.
five.
But yeah, that's all I watched. It's been a quiet week.
Yeah?
It's been busy.
Yeah. So I watched a couple things. Finished off The Expanse.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
It is phenomenal. I really enjoyed it all the way through. 3 seasons. There's
Maybe
a
I'll
fourth.
start watching that.
It's kind of slow, but like, it's a good kind of slow. Like it's methodical. It builds. You jump in and it's like they throw you in the middle of this world that is really dense, or this universe that's really dense, and like they start throwing out terms and stuff, and you kind of have to kind of be like, what does that mean? And then they, give you more context, and you're like, oh, that's an offensive term for people that live on meteorites or, asteroid.
Asteroid, yeah. That's cool.
And it's like, oh, that's really cool. And the story, like, if it were to have ended with season 3, I think like it still would have been great. But like we're getting a season 4, I'm excited to see what that looks like.
This show is one of those that's like always around. I just don't have no context for
Well, it was made by
whatsoever.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
But they set the bar really like at a good place, like where like it looks good and the acting's great. And then it got canceled recently, and Amazon picked it up, so now it's going to be on Amazon Prime for season 4. Yeah. I also watched Bob Lazar, Area 51 and the Flying Saucer, which was interesting.
Yeah, so I recommended that you watch this based on Joe Rogan had Bob Lazar on his podcast, as well as the director whose name I can't remember because he's got 4 names.
Sure.
But I listened to this, and obviously Rogan, used to do a show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything, and he's been a UFO nut for a long time. And so when they start going down the rabbit hole of UFOs or conspiracy theories, is generally around the time that I tune out because I'm like, I just don't care.
It's so
I think
cool,
that stuff
though.
is fascinating.
It's so fascinating.
So this interview got me.
Yeah.
Because apparently Bob Lazar is one of the OG guys that
Worked in
shed
Section
some
4.
light on Section 4, which is an area near Area 51, and was the first person really to help break the idea of Area 51 before anyone really knew that back in the 80s. Him and a news reporter named George Knapp and a few other key players who have become these sort of like personalities in the world of UFO hunting and UFO chasing. And so I started listening to the interview. I was like, okay, this is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
And Bob Lazar reluctantly told the story because apparently he's been pretty harassed throughout the years because of this. And apparently the government's done some harassing too. And so there's lots of stuff coming to light now
Allegedly.
that a lot of the things that he claimed that he saw while working in this very private secret area of a government facility have now been sort of proven. And so it's fascinating to see kind of where we'll never know, obviously. No one will ever know. But it's interesting to see what can be proven, what can't be proven, and if there is, in fact, some level of sentient life out there that we have the technology from and what that looks at. I like to listen to it just from a pure scientific standpoint of like he talks about how they, you know, have interacted with these machines that can create gravity, and how that's just light years ahead of what we can do, and like how he even talked about back in the day, like how gravity, the gravity would, you know, these machines would immerse or emit a wave of gravity, and this is back when we thought gravity was a particle and not a wave, and now we've proven that, in, you know, because of the recent stuff. I think it was this year they saw two
gravitational
pulsars like slam into each other, and we saw waves coming off of it, like it's a gravity wave. And then talks about element 115, which is this element that can produce gravity or has something to do with this gravity drive or antimatter drive rather, and how that was, everyone's like, that's not a real thing, and then all of a sudden people are like, oh no, we can make that thing. Like that's actually something we can synthesize now. So just, it was fascinating. What I liked, Rogan was able to sort of take the director and Bob and tell it in a chronological order. And I appreciate that, and it gave context to it. And I was thinking to myself, oh great, when I go and watch this documentary, it's going to then back up all these things they're saying in a chronological order and not be convoluted at all. And it's going to fill in the blanks of, and really kind of like, you know, flesh out this story, because it's a, you know, obviously a edited piece where you could take thousands of hours of footage and things like, or hundreds of hours of images, things like that, put them all together in a story that's cohesive. What I got with this documentary was an art piece.
Yeah, and that's its biggest problem. It is trying so hard to be so
fucking
artsy.
hard.
It's who's the guy that does the voice?
Mickey Rourke. They got Mickey Rourke to do voiceover for it. This is how unbelievably pretentious this documentary is.
Jeremy Kenyon Lockyer Corbell
is the name of the director.
That's a lot of names.
And boy, let me tell you, he's in a lot of this movie.
A lot
of this movie.
As the director,
he breaks he breaks a cardinal rule of mine when it comes to documentary. Like, don't make any bones about it. Most documentary films aren't objective. It's impossible to remain 100% objective in anything you do. Like, you have a perspective that you're telling from, and I get that. But when you literally are the first person I see in the documentary and you're the director, I'm like, oh fuck, we're in for another one of these fucking things. The guy's in it more than Bob Lazar, and the fucking thing's called Bob Lazar.
Which is unfortunate, because the Bob Lazar parts, I think, are the best part.
When he sits and draws the things, you're like, that's what I wanted. I just wanted an hour and a half of him going, I was this like, all I needed to do was start with that interview where he's in the fucking the 1980s where he's like, you know, he in did silhouette.
a silhouetted interview where he, like, this is where it all came from.
To start there and then come to real time and then tell the story from the beginning. He was young. He was a kid. He was a guy that put a rocket ship on the back of his car, and then he got recruited. He was an engineer that I think had gone to MIT.
Yeah, well,
and he got
allegedly.
Well,
because like the stuff that they have that are like, so he allegedly went to MIT and then worked at another company, Los Alamos,
which is an Air Force base, I believe.
Right, and according to MIT and Los Alamos, he did not go to any of those things. But they have since found.
Like yearbooks.
A yearbook.
Right?
Well, they didn't find a yearbook, but they found, for Los Alamos, they found a phone directory with his name in it. And then he has literally friends who are like, no, he went to college with me. Like, you can't erase. You went to college. Like, he went to places.
I love conspiracy theories.
It's really fascinating.
It's really cool.
Why are you erasing him from all of these things?
Great
Those
question.
moments are really cool, but it is just cluttered with all these other.
So, like, this is how pretentious this thing is. It starts with the director walking through a desert, and the sky has been composited out, and he's put stars moving fast. And then it goes Bob Lazar, Area 51, and flying saucers, or the flying, whatever the fuck it is, singular, I can't remember. And then Mickey Rourke starts in with a very philosophical VO that makes no sense.
No sense.
And then we get a few more scenes, and then we see Bob Lazar, and then we get the interview, and then we get another fucking title screen that says Bob Lazar and the Area 51 flying saucer. I'm like, and then at the end, they do another title screen. I'm like, bro, like, this story could have been told. It would have been one of the most compelling documentaries I've ever seen. But it's so convoluted, and there's so many narrators and so many voices being told that I'm like, I don't know. I finished the documentary more confused than when I finished the podcast. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Not to mention the fact this guy makes fireworks for a living. Now I'm like, that's cool. Can we talk about that? Like, I don't know. He's a fascinating human being. It just needed to be about Bob, but instead the director made it about him and the other guy and him and the other, and like this other person and him. And I'm like,
and then Mickey Rourke keeps coming up saying nonsensical things.
I'm just an old burned out piece of meat. I'm like, all right, Mickey Rourke, Jesus Christ. But anyway, fascinating story.
Fascinating.
And
where can we watch this?
It's on
Netflix. In the U.S. I don't know if it's wherever it's.
Just get through the parts where the director is filming himself from 5 different angles in his own house. Just get through those parts.
On the phone with like
someone who's not Bob Lazar.
Yeah. He's talking to this guy while he's having a
there's
conversation.
There's literally a part in the documentary where he has footage of him talking to Bob out in the middle of the woods, and Bob forgot to leave his phone in the car, and then Bob gets raided by the FBI the next day and they directly reference a conversation they had that day, so they were clearly listening in on the phone, or so they say. But you can't really tell because it's not told in any concise way because there's no fucking story. Like it's just so convoluted and it's so sad because it's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can totally tell the director is a camera guy.
Yeah.
Like either a DP or a person who has that level of skill, and is not great at actually editing. He needed a better editor who was like, take all this fucking voiceover shit out.
I think it was very much like this was a vision, and he wanted to make it very like cool and artsy and provocative.
But if you're gonna get
thoughtful.
Mickey Rourke to do your VO,
he sounds so cool.
Get him to narrate the fucking story. Hey, in 1989,
Not
Bob
just
Lazar
random-
did this. Don't get him to like the pulsars of our soul.
You're trying to be like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson when he talks uses philosophy to teach you fucking physics and science. Mickey Rourke is like, the stars glitter in our eyes, our mind's eyes.
He's not exaggerating.
The camel walks through the desert.
Oh, I am so in on this.
And you're like, what? Who the fuck wrote this shit? Oh, God.
But again, like the conspiracy parts and like the
Really cool.
listening to Bob Lazar talk, it's like,
he clearly knows
this
what
is
he's talking
rad.
about.
This is cool.
And the most fascinating thing is the
wanna
actual,
believe.
if it's true, the technology of what they were dealing with back in the 80s is fascinating. And he talks a lot about how he was like, basically what we were dealing with was a science that was so far advanced that it borderlined on magic.
That's such a good line.
He was like, it's the equivalent if you were to drop a nuclear fusion engine into the 1800s. And he goes, and that's when he's
take
like,
it apart,
he's
right?
like, when I started realizing that was when I started getting terrified because he was like, if we did that, they would go, this is cool. It's putting out energy. We don't know how to understand how it works.
Yeah.
And then we'd start taking it apart and then they'd all die of radiation poisoning because they don't understand what radiation is. And he's like, that's when we started getting terrified of like, we don't know what this thing is or how it's harming us. But anyway, it could all be bullshit. Who knows?
Interesting.
And then the last thing I watched was the first couple episodes of a show called Trinkets that came on Netflix recently that is about
San Francisco?
No. Is it might be based in San Francisco. I didn't notice what city, but it's about these three girls that get caught shoplifting and are all in like Shoplifting Anonymous.
Interesting.
Where they have to go to these things, but like it's like a teen drama. Paul is really enjoying it. I think it's okay. It's fun. If you like teen dramas, it's very teen drama-y.
I do like those.
I did start watching one other thing that I need to get back to.
Let me see.
What's up?
I said, let me hear it. What is it?
People had recommended the show for years when I was in the morning show, and I just
You say
fought
The
against
Office,
it.
I'm gonna
It's a little show called The Office. If you guys know, it's Legion.
Oh, really?
And,
Oh, man. There's a lot of people that are about to be super excited.
So I was like, I was combing around on Hulu, and it popped up, and I was like, you know what? I'll just see if this show grabs me. It's beautifully directed.
Yeah?
I'm halfway through the first episode, and I'm like, this is a really cool, very different show. Very different than what you're used to. I'm gonna go back to it. I think I'm gonna give the first season a good shot because I'm blown away by the quality of this.
That's cool.
And how different it is and how cool it is.
And that's what the best friends were saying for so long.
It's
The
I don't
first
listen to
season
anyone but my fucking self. Okay.
Sure.
When I get through the
I
show
like to
and I
think-
love it, I'm gonna tell everyone they should have watched it years ago.
I like to think that
The
you
classic
like
Nick.
internalize and think about these things until you no longer are thinking about it, and then in the back of your mind when you're blading through things,
Of course.
you're like, oh, Legion. Why does that sound familiar? I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah, guess I came up with this all on my own.
Someday you'll get to Hannibal.
You just like
there's-
Inception yourself
Yeah.
into watching it?
There's so many people that told me to watch this show,
Yeah.
both in the chat and comments in the community. And I looked at it, I'm like, I think what happened was you look and you get through the other Marvel shows that are based on similar stuff, and they're just not that good. And you're like, do I really want to commit to this?
Yeah.
But Legion actually is starting off for me very, very cool. And then the other thing that I'm almost done with is the latest season of Luther, which if you're not watching is so fucking good. It's the
haven't
Idris
watched it.
Elba BBC
Yeah.
show where he plays DCI Luther, which is a detective. It's cool. He's a cop.
Why do you wink at me? I don't
always
understand.
get-
They can't see it.
They can.
It's
They can
just
do
for you,
it.
Kev. I always get Luther and Lucifer mixed up.
No, very different shows.
There's also
But I've also heard that Lucifer is really good.
Well,
No,
I
not
guarantee
that
it's
good?
no Idris Elba. Come on.
Okay, calm down.
on,
I
Joey.
don't know that you can guarantee that.
Yeah.
I can guarantee whatever I want.
I
sure.
also forgot that I watched more of the Twilight Zone this weekend.
Oh, but that's right. Yeah, you were telling me about that earlier.
It's interesting. It's so hard to compare it to like Rod Serling Twilight Zone because it's different, and that's like such a masterpiece. I watched 2 episodes. I watched the one with Glenn from The Walking Dead, which I did not understand at all. I was like, I don't really know what you're trying to, like, what commentary you're making about it. Granted, I wasn't fully invested in that one, so I wasn't really paying like full attention. And then I watched the one called Not All Men, which features our friend of the show, Cooper, of
cool.
Heel Kick fame.
It's fun.
Yeah, and that one I actually really liked. I thought it was an interesting social commentary piece.
I enjoy Heel Kick so much.
Yeah.
Really enjoy that movie.
The Twilight Zone stuff,
You also don't like anthology
I don't like
series,
anthology series. I didn't like Black Mirror. I'm just one of those weird people who, like, I watch Black Mirror, I'm like, this is just too dark for me. Too much. So, yeah. Too much.
So I recently, like, I want to get back into watching, what's the show you just talked about? Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But my biggest issue is it's CBS All Access, and I have to watch it through my PS4, and I wanted to make it all easier. And now I have Chromecast.
Oh, nice.
And I believe I can just open it on my iPad and then Chromecast it. So I'm excited to do it that way. And I had forgotten about that. And that might be something I put on my radar.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. I really want to like Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone, and it's just not. I think I've kind of liked a few of the episodes, but overall hasn't been my favorite. But I'm like interested enough to keep watching them.
Okay. Keep us updated with that.
Does it have like a series order, or are they just making them indefinitely? Because at some point I do want to cancel my CBS All Access because I don't think it's worth it for just that.
The company's one.
Is there one? Oh, well, nobody tells me these things.
I made a big deal about it when I made it.
Anyways.
Cool. Time for some housekeeping. Still no Patreon producers. Why? Oh, why do you hate us so much?
It's fine.
We need the support. They're going to get rid of us. There's also some Patreon Platinum item news, right?
Yeah. Don't forget, the last couple days to get your Persona 5 shirt. You can submit your shirt size right now. I put up a post the other day about it. So do that, please.
Yeah. It's a cool looking shirt. And if you want it, please,
I'm
God. I'm
excited about it. Barrett's excited about it.
There is no second chances.
No.
You know,
that's all you're gonna
once
get.
it's gone, it's gone. This show is brought to you by our sponsors, MeUndies and Quip, but more about that later. Now it's time for some news. News! We're going to start with some news that is, like, the first couple stories are really like, should these things get made? You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the first one is Hello Kitty movie is being penned by Transformers Last Night's writer. Yeah, that's right. Deadline broke the news that Lindsay Beer has been tapped to write the Hello Kitty based on the Sunreal popular culture thing. Hello Kitty movie coming. It's gonna be written by the same person that wrote
Transformers.
Yeah, The Last Night, which is famously not good.
What I'm shocked about this is that someone actually wrote Transformers The Last Night. I thought they were just making that movie up as they went. I did watch it, actually. Well, okay. I attempted to watch it. But after the first 15 minutes, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this movie. And it was so bad. So bad that I think I just stopped. Yeah. It's one of those I paused, and then I just took my TV and threw it out the fucking window. It's useless now. Jesus.
Tim was very upset with that movie and
totally fucking terrible.
Has been very negative about it.
And you know what it is? It's almost like Michael Bay is. It's like if you went to see a movie.
He doesn't care.
Michael Bay, right?
Yeah.
And you're
I don't
watching
think he directed that one actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think he gave.
Well, this is what it feels like. And it feels like you're watching a Michael Bay movie and you sit down.
I think he was executive
and
producer.
It's so bad, and you're like, I can't understand who would be enjoying this. And then you hear a sound, and you turn around behind you, and Michael Bay is just jacking off all over the fucking place, and flipping you off and counting the money that you gave him. Who directed Bumblebee? That's what it is.
I don't know.
Not Michael Bay.
Yeah, all right, that's the one I was thinking. But I didn't realize this.
Travis Knight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they have a Sanrio show on Netflix right now that is like well received critically.
Is this the Agre Sutka?
That's the one.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know how to say it, so I just didn't say it.
Yeah, that was my butchered attempt at saying it.
No, you nailed
the premise of it is really fun. Of like this girl, I think maybe, works like at a job that she hates, and then to get out all her rage, she does like metal karaoke at night.
That is an interesting premise.
Interesting. I've heard really good things about it. I haven't watched it.
So that's the thing. There is some hope.
What style is this movie going to be in?
No clue yet.
Like, is it going to be like a Detective Pikachu type thing? Is it going to be animated?
I would imagine it's animated. We'll see as more news
I don't
comes
know
out.
that I feel like Sanrio had a big resurgence in like the 90s. Or maybe it was just like the age I was at that like everyone was obsessed with it. But I don't feel like it's movie status these days. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm very interested to see what direction that goes in and what kind of storyline they put with it.
Speaking of other movies that like maybe they're moving a little too late on, Minecraft movie has found a new writer. The video game adaptation has found a writer in Frozen 2 screenwriter Allison Schroeder. Yeah, that's how I'm going to say that.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Who was nominated for an Oscar for co-writing Hidden Figures. Allison will rework a script that was originally drafted by It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia creator Mikael.
Yeah, good luck with this one. I saw this one. I was like, I don't know how to fucking say that word. Here's the thing about this.
Mac by Mac.
Sure, we'll say
Yeah.
Mac.
Yeah.
The Minecraft movie is interesting because it could be total rubbish and still make a lot of money, or it could hit on the level of a Lego movie. Like, you know, not the Lego, like the ones that we get to watch at Comic-Con. I'm talking about the ones that are like
the Lego movie.
The Lego movie with Will
Yeah.
Arnett, or Lego Batman, which I held in the highest regard as one of the best Batman movies ever made.
Yeah.
So you never know. Having said that, like, jury's out. If I see a good trailer for this Minecraft movie and it's AAA, maybe I'll go see it. Maybe I'll get into it.
Do you really think you're going to go see it?
I've surprised myself in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft obviously has a huge audience, so I think no matter what, they're going to get a ton of people
But
to
does
go
it
see it.
still have a huge audience?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
How
is
it's
it
just so
been
out,
so big
it's
for
so
so
outside
long?
of our circle.
Children are stupid. And they
Sure are.
just want to watch stupid things that are easy to comprehend. That and Fortnite.
Yeah, that's true.
Fun. I don't like this.
But let's move on to our next story. More video game, movie, or TV show news.
Oh.
Live action Final Fantasy TV series in the work.
Ooh.
You excited for that?
I like that idea.
Yeah?
Josh, come shop.
Yeah, get on Shock Mike, Josh.
Because I have no
Yeah.
thoughts on this.
So a live action Final Fantasy TV series will be gracing our screens. Sony Pictures Television and HiveMind, the production company behind Amazon's The Expanse, and Netflix The Watcher. So two shows that haven't come out yet. Well,
The Expanse.
Well,
is
season
three.
4.
Season 4
is the one that's done by Amazon, and that hasn't come out
Right,
yet.
correct.
And also The Witcher, we haven't seen anything of.
I mean, it's Henry
there's
Cavill.
a picture.
It's Henry Cavill. You got to hope for, like, you're going to think it's got to be awesome, right? If
Yeah,
it's
but I
Henry
feel like
Cavill.
doesn't have the best luck with movies, you know, just in general.
So Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
No.
I love how you just space out like one word.
Well, because someone was saying in the chat that we should clarify it's I guess based on the Final Fantasy XIV.
I was about
world.
to. I wasn't done. You know,
Classic
so
Scarpino.
it's based on Final Fantasy XIV, which I'm sure Tim is bummed out because 11's his favorite. It's a joke because he hates 11.
I was like, I don't. Final Fantasy, I know nothing about.
Here's the thing: is I think as far as video games go, you'll never get a good video game movie because the worlds are too big and there's too many storylines in order to do it.
Absolutely.
Hence, like why Game of Thrones could have really never been a movie. And why I like any of these movie ideas that are game ideas, because we can finally basically get a playthrough in live action. And because every video game movie that's come out, I mean, listen, we all sort of liked Mortal Kombat, right? Like I liked the first Mortal Kombat movie.
But we like
loud.
it because it's bad,
We
right?
like
It's loud.
Yeah, like
It's loud.
You like it because
Got a good
Veronica
song?
Vaughn played Sonya Blade, and you liked it because you had like awesome. You had the Highlander in it, basically. You know what I mean? You had like a cool cast, a cool plot. I mean, was Gora or whatever the guy's name is? What's the
Goron?
Goron?
Prince Goron or whatever. Like he was
He's
a
fucking
claymation
cool.
figure. Yeah, but
And
he's
it looked cool, yeah.
right? But since then, you've had so many misses. I mean, I might be the only fan of Timothy Olyphant's Hitman, but as for the most part, we don't have any good video game
Krylenko was
movies.
in.
What's that?
Was that the one that Olga Krylenko was in?
Correct.
Man, that was the first time I ever thinking.
Yeah.
That's a person I know. I should know more of.
Correct.
Like, God, yeah.
When I interviewed her for the Transporter she was in with Ed Skrein.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Holy moly. But so for me, like the Final Fantasy games, I think you have this gigantic world that you can build off any. They can say 14, but they can dip into anywhere they want. This is such a giant world, and everybody right now is looking for their next Game of Thrones.
But like it's an anthology game series, right? Like I don't think that the games are...
none of them are connected to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like still, 14 has been going on since like 2013.
Yeah.
So and like the last update was 2019. So this year. So
boom.
Kids like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Clearly, there's still an audience for it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep talking about some video game news. The
that
game.
this is the movie news show. Just
No,
kidding.
I know. But like, hey man, there's video games and like the worlds are melding. You know what I mean? Myst movie and TV show are in the works. Nicholas, you're old.
Sure.
You know, you ever play Myst?
No, I never played
game?
Myst because I never played Myst. It looked very slow, and basically, if I remember correctly, Myst was like kind of first person-y, but you just solved puzzles the entire time.
Yeah.
And man, when I was a kid, I believed in two things: fucking complex carbohydrates and first-person shooters, baby. I wanted you smack me with some fucking sugar, and Daddy needs a shotgun. Let's go blow some shit away. So when I saw Myst, I was like, this looks boring as fuck. Is what it does. But a lot of people, I respect that a lot of people love it. It's weird that they're bringing it back now.
It's cool. Well, so it's interesting because there's
very much just trading off of people, some level of brand recognition.
It sounds like we're gonna have a movie, and then potentially an unscripted show, which I think there's the potential where it's like, so the whole premise of the game is you get dropped on an island, you got to figure all these puzzles, and it's like that seems like a show that people they could do.
It's like
a reality
Amazing
TV
Race
show. Yeah.
Meets Bear Grylls, meets like Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, it's all survival.
Well, I don't know about Naked and Afraid. I feel like that one might be a stretch.
I always just throw that in there just because that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
The Myst is terrifying, though. The Myst is absolutely terrifying because it's real scary and quiet and like windy. Andy will agree with me on this one. I was too scared to play the game. I played like the first 6 minutes.
Oh no, yeah, it was very much about the ambience.
Oh yeah,
it was terrifying.
Oh god,
it was terrifying.
The worst.
I remember I think my buddy played it on like Mac.
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's a game on Mac." Because remember, there was like Marathon and Myst. Those are like the games you could play on Mac. And if you had a Mac and not a PC, like if your parents were like, "We're gonna be an Apple family," right? You were like, you fucked your childhood. Your kid's childhood is fucked because all they have is
he's right.
Bungie games.
Yeah, Mac sucks.
You're taking shots at the whole Macuga family.
I'm telling you right now, we had an Apple IIc, and then back in the day, my dad's like, "I think I want to switch this over to PC," and I was like, "Fucking yes!" And from that point on, I played a lot of PC games until it became prohibitively expensive to play PC games. Right around, I want to say like Quake. That's when I kind of
like
got out of it.
86 or something.
How dare you?
He's so old. You know what I mean? Look at him.
So I looked up Myst
younger.
because I am very unfamiliar, and the thing that stuck out to me is apart from its predominantly nonverbal storytelling, how's that gonna get?
That's gonna go away as soon as there's a movie.
But if that is like a key element of Myst, isn't that like?
Battleship's a little. It's played with like and then they made that into a movie. They'll figure it out.
A great movie.
Yeah.
All right, Macuga.
I can't tell if you're just trying to bait us or if these are actual tapes.
But I like the idea of it being a reality TV show where people have to do these puzzles.
Yeah.
Like that seems like that could be fun.
Back
Is
in
this
the day,
like what The Witness was based off of? That game?
I mean, I never
kinda
played
the same
Myst,
thing?
but like the picture of the cover and like the idea of what the game is sounds similar enough.
the back in the day they tried to do a reality series. So you had Myst, but they actually tried to do a reality series based on the Da Vinci Code / Angels and Demons, which was basically like it was like an Amazing Race meets a basic mental Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out how to get through, like how to get them to certain places in Europe with like and try to get them in these places and would allow them to film. Like the budget just kind of skyrocketed.
Yeah,
But
that makes
it's
a
kind
lot
of a cool
of sense.
idea. Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea.
But setting it on some like fake island, good
Totally.
enough. Yeah, you
Yeah.
build whatever, just build a set.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some more Nick news. Flash Gordon animated movie being developed by Taika Waititi
Yes.
for Disney Plus.
Cool.
Yeah,
Flash Gordon's never one of the. It was never one of those.
hitting and missing.
Well, it wasn't a character that really spoke to me, and I'll tell you why. You want to know why?
I feel like that it's like one of those things that there's another weird alien thing they always talk about that it looks very much like Flash Gordon.
Yeah,
It's like Zorg Boars.
Zorgbors.
I don't know what it's called. There's
Zorgbors.
some weird name like
First
that.
off, Zorgbors sounds awesome. So it sounds like a fucking toy that I'd make fun of Tim for having.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon is one of those movies that is a classic that when I was a child, it just didn't work for me. And here's why. I'll tell you why. And this is how dumb little Nick Scarpino was. I saw that it was Flash Gordon, and I thought it had something to do with the Flash. And I was like, cool, they made a Flash movie. And then I watched it. I got about a half hour, and I was like, this is not a Flash movie. This is a weird, campy movie about some Nordic football player dude that gets like come into place. I didn't realize that it was that Flash Gordon was as cult classic-y as it is until I watched the documentary that's on Amazon Prime right now about the guy that played Flash Gordon, who just totally pulled a George Lazenby and was like, I'm a huge star. I'm going to be a fucking asshole to everyone. And then his career went nowhere. So people love it. Evidently, I didn't know this, but evidently George Lucas tried to get the rights to make Flash Gordon. And when he failed, he made Star Wars instead.
Thank God.
So a lot of the like weapons and some of the elements from Flash Gordon, you can actually see the DNA from those, make it into Star Wars. The blasters look a lot alike. Some of the other additional things. So that's cool. But it's Taika Waititi, which means it'll be great.
Yeah. But like, there's still not much information of what he's doing. So
I hope he goes super fucking weird with it and is like as campy as the.
But I'm saying, like,
movie.
we don't even know if he's producing it or writing it or wanting to direct it. He's also a busy man.
Adam Blaine says, was Kevin talking about John Carter from Mars?
No.
Okay.
But I watched that movie recently.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it more than I should.
I tell you one thing right now. I've said this about John
Taylor
Carter.
Kitsch, man.
Taylor Kitsch gets a bad fucking rub every
sucks.
single time. He just gets it the wrong way every single time. John Carter was actually a decent movie.
John Carter, really not that bad. The reason it got such a bad rap is because it made no money.
Yeah,
well, and the reason it made no
so
fucking
much
I've
money.
told this before. The reason it made no money is because the original book's called like the John Carter and the Princess of Mars or something like that. Then when they decided to make it a movie, they're like, that's too long. We'll say John Carter from Mars. And then they go, you know what we should really do to distinguish this movie? Let's drop the Mars part and just call it John Carter.
Yeah.
For half of it, I thought it was that Denzel Washington movie Coach Carter or Samuel L. Jackson movie Coach Carter.
Thank you for that reference.
I mean, I legitimately came up John Carter. I was like, you mean John Q?
Like
John Q is the Denzel Washington movie. Coach Carter's the Samuel L. Jackson movie.
Dude.
Put them together, you got Taylor Kitsch, John
so sad.
Mars.
Man, crossing cinematic universes right there.
If Disney had marketed that movie as The Princess of Mars, that would have been totally. It's a fucking decent movie. It's a cool story.
It's fun.
Like a guy from the Wild West or like from the Civil War era gets like taken to a whole other planet, becomes this like fucking badass warrior, and then comes back and like it's cool.
Yeah, it's
fun,
definitely
fun
interesting. Yeah.
I will say this, Kevin. I looked through the news stories.
Okay.
And I don't think you have this on there.
Okay.
And I'm shocked about this. We have not talked, and we should talk for probably the next 45 minutes to 3 hours about the second Psych movie because it's happening.
Did that just get announced? Or
It was like 2 days ago.
USA?
Wait, wasn't that also?
What is that disdain,
Hold
sir?
on a second. I feel like this was old news that got announced a long time ago.
They said they're in production now. Finally, it's Dule Hill.
This is Nick News, and I guess I fucked up.
Dule Hill and James Renee just put out a thing where they were like, "Yeah, we're doing it. It's all good. It's happening." Like,
I think that they put out an image which we had on this show almost like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Now it's official.
It was just a pineapple with a 2 on it.
Yeah, but that was them trying to like test the waters.
I don't think so. That was them announcing. Great.
Well, you don't understand.
I'm happy this is there.
Here's the
thing,
thing,
you
guys.
don't have to take a note
Here's
of this.
the thing. USA movies are
I have
very
a time
much.
code where Nick tries to steal the show to talk about Psych.
First off, there's a lot of psychos in the audience. Go fuck yourselves, everyone. Second off,
I like that they call themselves psychos.
We talked about the Final Fantasy anthology series based on Final Fantasy XIV for a solid 10 minutes.
You mixed that up already.
You can't give me 1 minute to talk about Psych 2.
I put 3 stories in here that I thought would pique your interest.
I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? You guys don't understand how hard it is to get a movie made at USA right now, okay? You got to take money out of your own pocket and fucking put that thing in there, okay?
You're like a cockroach that I'm trying to catch, and it just
Nah,
keeps
bro, I'm
moving
not good
around.
at it. What if I told you this, Kevin? What if I told you the first Psych movie started off where they're in San Francisco and, stick with me, Josh, stick with me.
He's on his phone.
He's already gone.
Josh,
Already gone.
get off your phone and stick with me, you fucking skinny bastard. You're losing weight. I don't like it.
You look great. You look great.
I don't like it.
Appreciate it.
What if I told you the movie started off and the whole, for no reason, this had nothing to do with the plot. They have an office in San Francisco because at the end of the show, they moved to San Francisco, and the new Psych detective offices they had made to look exactly like the first set piece from Gremlins, where they go down and it's like that ancient antique store where they buy the Mogwai.
you had me. It was like I was falling down, and then you said Gremlins, and I was back.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting with Psych. It's nothing but 80s references.
See, the only people I know that like Psych, and I know there's a lot of the internet that like a corner of the internet that peppers me all the time to talk about Psych on Collider, right?
So good.
The only two people that I know personally that like Psych are you and my betrothed, my wife, lives for Psych.
It's so, you know what? She has excellent taste in everything.
I'm
Apparently,
going to say that the
except for
Amanda
spouses.
Macuga stamp of approval just
high.
bumped
Psych.
I know.
Psych. I can't talk.
Now, on a totally flip side of things, when are we getting a Burn Notice movie?
Oh man, I feel like
USA's other pillar.
To be
No, I want
honest,
a
I feel like
Suits movie.
we could call the two leads from Burn Notice and what's her name, Gabrielle Reese. We could get her out of there, and we could I think we could make a Burn Notice movie pretty quickly.
I agree 100%. I
mean,
mean, the last time I saw the guy
throw
from
$20 at
Burn
that.
Notice was in Sicario: Day of Soldado.
Oh, he was good in that though.
Yeah, sick
that guy's a good actor.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name though. And also
Way
shout
too
out to
much
Ash.
Psych convo.
Super
Sorry,
memorable.
Kev.
No, it's okay. You guys have fun. Let's have a good time. Moving on to some sadder news.
I know.
The Office is leaving Netflix.
This is tragic.
No.
There's been rumors of this happening. No, what? You're so dumb, and I hate you. I hate you so
I
much.
can't watch it.
You started watching it and enjoyed it.
Stop.
You just stopped because you get distracted easily.
The Office is
Nick, what's
literally the Transformers last night of television
No,
shows.
it's not.
Fuck off.
Guys, people in the chat, he's
That is
just
the
joking.
most offensive thing that
Please
Nick
don't
has
leave
ever said, and
comments
you've heard Nick
insulting
talk.
Nick. He's just trying to get a rise of everyone.
It's working.
Let it pass.
It's
Let it
working.
pass. All right, let's
Does
go back
this
to
mean
this
that
news
we
story.
should just finally bite the bullet and do an Office in review before they take it
No,
away
what this
from
means
us?
is there's way too many
You're not invited.
stupid
No.
You're not
Here's the
invited.
streaming
thing.
services
Now,
out there.
Here's the thing, and I've said this for over 3 months now. We should have a bit in KFAF where every single week we review an episode of The Office.
Ooh, this is a good bit.
You know, we do it for 5 years and we get through them all.
Yeah, that's a long bit.
It's called commitment, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm in.
I will do that only if the bit has nothing but pregnant pauses in it and just an obnoxious amount of snap zooms. Just an obnoxious amount of
You are
snap zooms.
such a
Because
Grinch.
snap zooms and pregnant pauses equals humor.
You enjoyed it. We
Yeah, I tried to do my
watched
own
it
Snapchat. Wait,
together in Arizona.
Everyone be quiet.
That's pretty good.
That was a terrible way to show a snap zoom.
That was
We
really.
had camera ops in this office. We could have snap zoomed.
This is upsetting.
All right, so all 9 seasons of the beloved NBC sitcom The Office will be leaving Netflix as soon as its current deal with the streaming service expires at the end of 2020, at which point it will jump over to NBC's Universal News streaming service.
That makes
Too many
sense.
services, man.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We're
hitting critical mass.
now in the we used to be this beautiful global economy, right? Where you could get stuff on every platform, and NBC would give stuff to Netflix and yada yada and Amazon. And now everyone's going back to their corners of the world. And they're like, if I made this thing, it's fucking mine, and I need it, and we have to put it on our own platform. And it's sad because it means a lot of these shows that I would probably have watched because they were on Netflix. I'm not gonna watch. I don't. As of right now, I'm barely in on the Disney platform. You're talking about an NBC Universal platform, CBS All Access. I'm like, come on, guys, come on. Yeah, you got me with Discovery. Okay, I'll give you that. And you're gonna get me back with Picard. I'll give you that. But there's nothing else on that platform except for Elementary. I'm watching that as well. But it's not very good this season, and it's almost done.
Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a ton of... Because this was SVODs, 4 years ago, remember? Everybody was trying to do an SVOD platform. Most of them failed, like Go 90 on Verizon, and you had Comic-Con HQ, which I was a part of. Like all those SVODs, and everybody put their price point too high, and they didn't have a ton of quality premium product, right? A lot of these, I think Disney Plus probably is the one throwing all the stuff out there in the ocean right now that's like with all the panache, with all the series Marvel and Star Wars and all that stuff. And now Apple's got a bunch of different stuff, something with Steve Carell and all that stuff, right?
But something cool.
Yeah.
Looking cool, yeah.
NBC Universal, CBS All Access, ABC just going to be lumped in with Disney Plus, whatever.
Yeah.
People aren't going to do that. You're just going to go back to wanting cable again. They're not just going to buy all these platforms. And eventually what's going to happen is they're going to fail and Netflix is just going to scoop that shit back up. And for it at a cheap
I see the opposite. I think the only one that's going to really succeed is Disney, and I think it's because they have a plan. I think everything else is going to slink along because I don't think people are going back to cable. We're a streaming world now, and that's what's going to happen. And I think Disney's going to come in and fuck everyone.
I don't disagree, but I think your cable box is going to become your streaming box, and it's going to get lumped in with all your internet, so that you can turn on your TV. You don't have to turn on your Roku. You don't have to turn on. It's just going to start grabbing all that up because they have all the money.
I mean, I honestly, I hope that Disney, like, if they're smart, I think that they'll, and they've said they're going to do a consolidated package where it has Disney Plus, Hulu, and potentially some of the TV offerings, and I hope that comes at a low price point, because right now Disney Plus is saying $7. That's
totally worth it.
That seems very worth it.
Totally.
And if they can add this, I just hope that we get to the point where all the other random, like the NBC streaming service and the CBS, those kind of die out and they get consolidated and eaten up by either Netflix or Disney Plus.
Because you think that the shows you watch on NBC are NBC Universal properties, but a lot of them are not. They're either produced by Fox, or they're produced by Sony, or they're produced by somebody else, and they have all these different rights. So for NBC Universal to get them, they got to pay for them. It's not worth it for what the amount of subscribers are going to get on their platform.
Interesting. That's an interesting
I don't
take.
think they're a big enough pull to.
Yeah, totally.
I just feel like
sustainable.
My personal thought on it is that I think those shows, like we all imagine a world, like we can't imagine a world where NBC doesn't exist anymore.
Right. But
the reality is, it just doesn't matter. Like, who fucking cares if NBC exists anymore?
And they've had some awesome shows.
They've had some great shows, but at the same time, they could go away.
Yeah.
And Disney could come in and make great streaming shows that are more focused, higher quality, and that's it. Done.
Did you guys watch AP Bio? Probably one of the better comedies in the last couple of years, and
No,
it
I
just
haven't
got
watched-
totally buried.
I haven't watched a network television show on network television
Correct.
in
I don't think anybody
Years?
under the age of 40 has.
like I don't.
We're
like,
all a streaming world.
Like I haven't even gone like to set the thought of setting my DVR for a show that's on basic cable is wild to me. I would not even think to do that. And now even the shows that I watch just as a casual viewer, like I watch a lot of car shows, there's the Motor Trend app now. If I wanted to, I could pay them, right? There's the UFC app if I want to watch fighting. I really don't need cable anymore. The only reason I'm holding on to it, and we're not going to point fingers, but the missus really likes that Bravo show.
Yeah.
It sounded like you pointed really hard.
We're not
right
going to
there.
point fingers. I'm just saying the Bravo and the Watch What Happens Live and the
me all
Below
the
Deck
Housewives.
and the Housewives. That's the other thing. She loves those shows.
Again, going back to it, like your cable box, 'cause if you've been to a hotel lately, you turn on the cable, you're on the cable TV, it's basically a streaming service now. It's got your basic channels, your ESPNs, your networks and stuff, and then it's got an Amazon, it's got a Netflix, it's got all that. So your cable box, from what I think, is going to have all those things that cable's going to pay for them, so you can click on them, sign on.
I think you're going the
Interesting.
opposite. I think most TVs have those already now. So what TV manufacturers are smart, they build those programs in, so you don't even need cable anymore. You just plug your internet and you're ready to rock and roll.
But now you have now the cable companies pay
Have
for
added
it.
those.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's not split hairs. The cable companies are SVOD now. You don't
totally.
understand that, but like you can literally go and get any show that's playing that same day. You can just go play it again. So what's the difference between that and Netflix? Other than like if Netflix just had a couple channels that were just live and they were just streaming shit. That's all cable boxes are these days.
Most people argue for cable mostly for sports, and that's me. But I can watch ESPN Plus if I want to.
That's what you can do. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's going to be packaged with the Disney
Totally.
package. Yeah.
Chaos.
It's now become chaos.
It's
It
interesting
has.
stuff. Now let's take a break from the news and go into an ad.
Ooh, while you do that, I'm gonna do a refill here
Okay, have
and
fun. Thanks for
empty something
updating
else
us.
out.
Thanks
I
for
gotta empty
updating
one
us.
thing out and refill
Yep,
something.
I get it. You're gonna go
a
pee.
lot of information.
We got it.
Office sucks.
It does not. Our first ad, MeUndies. You spend about 90% of your life in underwear, so don't you think you owe it to yourself to make sure you're wearing the softest undies in town? That's why Tim and Greg only wear MeUndies. Men can now try the new boxer brief with Fly, which is the same great cut as the boxer brief, but now with an added option for guys who prefer to go through the gate versus over the fence. MeUndies is also the go-to for the softest loungewear on the planet. Hang out in their super comfy lounge pants and onesies. Yes, MeUndies makes onesies, and they're incredible. I'm not exaggerating or lying to you. I had to be talked out of wearing my MeUndies onesie to the airport today because I was like, I want to be as comfortable as possible. And my wife's like, the pockets aren't like, you have to carry too much stuff. That's not also, it looks really fun. They're green plaid. I love them so much and they're so comfortable. You know what? I might do it. I love them so much.
I mean, you live your life, Kevin.
Dude, they're so comfortable. Because I also wear the underwear underneath. It's amazing. It's such a magical experience.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of. I mean, you live your life. You do whatever you want.
I'm going back to
the might be a little too far.
Joester, I'm going back to the ad. Well, I can wear it at my house without getting judged from people like you.
Okay.
And to get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to meundies.com/morning. That's meundies.com/morning. Our next ad? Quip. It's time for spring cleaning. Quip's got an easy way to start with brushing with your brushing habits. Just 2 minutes twice a day can help pave the way to a healthier mouth and mind. And now the whole family can get refreshed with Quip. The new Kids Quip has the same 2-minute timer and guiding pulses as our original version with no childish gimmicks, so they can brush just like a grown-up. Cleaning your teeth the right way can be hard. Spending 15 seconds getting the job done ain't the right way to do it. But Quip makes it easy with the built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides and help you to clean your whole mouth evenly. Do you know what my favorite part about Quip is?
My favorite part about Quip is that I just got one and it's sparkly, and that's my favorite color.
But what's my favorite
What's
part?
your favorite part about Quip,
Oh,
Kevin?
man. It's that sexy multi-use cover.
Ooh, I'm very excited to travel with this.
That you can stick it on the mirror. I like how it looks. It's just such a clean design. It works as it stands, mounts to mirrors, and slides over the bristles to pack and protect your Quip on the go. Declutter your sink or cabinets and make traveling with an electric toothbrush easier. Plus, there are no wires or clunky chargers, and it runs for 3 months on a single charge. That's why we love Quip and why over 1 million happy, healthy mouths do too. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/KFMS, right now you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/KFMS. Let's get back to these stories. A couple more news stories for you. This is an exciting one for everyone. Paul Rudd answers the call for Ghostbusters 2020 sequel.
Woo! I'm very excited.
Me too. Not much information here, but we know that Paul Rudd will be playing a teacher. The actor's confirmed his involvement with a fun video in front of a familiar location, the firehouse. On Twitter,
video,
yeah. It was an interesting video. Did you guys watch it all?
Yeah.
I watched it, but I didn't have the sound
Yeah.
on. I was like, what
it's
is
happening.
going on?
Guys, it's happening. Can you hear it?
Yeah, they're stuck over there.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Yeah.
God bless that
The
street.
sliming his pants thing was...
He's coming in his
I
pants.
was like, yeah, no, I know.
He's very excited. It's just rock hard.
Yeah.
Maybe just spit a little fucking goo in his pants. It doesn't matter. He's sliming. That's what it means.
I'm excited for this. Paul Rudd.
I mean, yes. The news broke yesterday. You mentioned it to me, then Greg mentioned it in passing. And I'm like, this makes 100% sense. I love Paul Rudd. He can do no wrong. He is literally America's national treasure. If we had an Eiffel Tower, I say, take it down, throw it in the fucking ocean, put up a giant statue of Paul Rudd. That's how much we love him.
Why an Eiffel Tower? Why not the Statue of Liberty?
Because we already have that.
That's a statue of a person.
Because that was in Ghostbusters too, so you can't throw that out. You see what I'm saying?
That's Meryl Streep.
That's Meryl Streep. No, I love this. I'm very, very interested to see how this Ghostbusters 2020 movie comes together.
I hope it's good.
So far, it's hitting on a lot of levels. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got okay.
A lot of original cast coming
Seems
back.
like
That's
everything's
exciting.
getting teed up for a great movie.
It's
but
got
I'm
a
nervous.
good cast of real actors. Sounds like they might be writing a real script to it. My only ask, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, is just leave out any sort of eyeglass that doesn't have a lens. Just leave it out. Leave it out of the movie. If your writer writes that in there, leave it out. Josh, what's your take on the Ghostbusters 2020 movie?
I effing can't wait. I love
You can swear.
Ghostbusters.
No, don't let him.
No.
I just talked about spackling my pants with semen.
No.
can
Why do
say
you have
the
to
F
phrase
word.
things so
You can
terribly?
say the F word if you wanna
Let's
say the
move
F
back
word.
to the Ghostbusters movie.
Josh, give us your
All right,
opinion.
first of all, Paul Rudd, you are 100% correct. Like in Paul Rudd, we trust. My
Aging like a
favorite-
fine wine, man.
Oh,
Beautiful,
I mean,
beautiful.
I saw him backstage at Kimmel one time, and he walked by me, and I was like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Looking great, dude." And I was like, "Me? I'm looking great? What did I around you. This is the coolest
The
thing in my
life you live is so cool.
I know,
He
casual
just started
Kimmel
a sentence
flex.
off with I saw him backstage at Kimmel one time.
Oh my God, you're
Not
so cool.
the Jimmy Kimmel show.
That was such a name-dropping, lame-ass
Kimmel,
thing I just said.
Casual
like I'm
No,
friends
don't-
with Kimmel.
don't
Like when he and Sarah
apologize.
Silverman broke up, you had to figure out which side you were going to be on. That's how close
Team
friends you guys
Silverman,
are.
probably.
Yeah,
No, so,
yeah, it's a
but
good
I
call.
agree. Paul Rudd, first of all, Paul Rudd is not that tall, so putting him like a full statue of him, if you went life
How
size.
tall is he compared to me?
I think he's your height.
So 5'7", huh?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Paul Rudd.
Yeah. And
So
he's
good,
probably
a solid,
20 years
a solid
older
foot
than
or two higher than Kevin.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
that makes sense. Yeah.
To an
very-
inch and a half.
I mean, call him our stepping
Did you
stool.
see him on social media taking the video outside the?
Yeah, we just talked
okay,
about
sorry.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I blacked out for a second.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay. It
good.
happens. It's the alcohol.
But he like the thing about Paul Rudd is he doesn't take himself seriously. He's like Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yeah.
Neither of them take themselves seriously.
Why would they?
They're great dudes. They're family guys. There isn't one thing about them that is controversial at all, right? And Paul Rudd is that perfect character to go into I don't care what he does in the Ghostbusters franchise. He just makes movies better. Ant-Man doesn't work without Paul Rudd.
No.
I'm sorry. I don't
absolutely
think
not.
there's any person acting today that makes that role work in that movie. I really don't.
That's
And
Captain America's ass right there. That's America's ass.
I love Ant-Man is probably my favorite standalone Marvel movie. Don't even give me that Civil War isn't Avengers 2.5 because Captain America Civil War is Avengers 2.5.
I can see that. I can see that.
But
Is there an argument against
Standalone.
But I
that?
also feel like you're not.
I feel like putting the
really,
standalone things make things
Really,
way more trickier.
you're not paying enough mind
Also-
to Thor Ragnarok. Also,
yeah, you're right. But,
But-
I think I could watch both those anytime, anywhere.
Also,
That's fair.
Guardians 1, like on its own.
yeah, you really just
Come
opened
on.
up a can of worms.
yeah, but
Let's move
Guardians
on.
1 isn't like there's so many characters in Guardians of the Galaxy.
But it is a standalone.
You're right.
It's
Let's
so
move on. Like
let's-
Ant-Man has a sequel.
Let's rein this
Yeah,
back
let's-
in.
yeah.
I'm very excited
Good call,
for
great
Paul
call,
Rudd.
Nick.
Very excited for Paul Rudd. Very excited to see how this movie shapes up, and I really hope that Reitman pulls it together.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see more of this movie. But let's talk about movies that we won't see any more of. Mouse Guard officially canceled. Done. It's over. Gary Whitta. I don't know. Sad about it, maybe.
Did he write it?
Yeah.
No shit, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a writer on it.
He was just
sadly.
here. Did I ask him anything about it? No.
We could have literally
Like,
got a
literally
word from him, but we
here
are not real
An
journalists.
hour ago.
With his
Nothing.
whole family.
Nothing.
Didn't ask him one thing about Mouse
No,
Guard.
no. We
No.
talked about like Twitch streaming. Huh.
You guys,
Yeah, but,
you guys get Gary Whitta. Don't ask him. If he would have come in, I would. Okay.
He's here every
But what's
week.
really
That's
cool
true.
is they put out what is this?
Test footage.
Test footage. Thank you. Bear, why don't you pull this up so we can look at it? Because it looks really cool. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, don't show this whole thing. Jump a little bit forward. If we can get the little turtle walking around scene.
I want to see the turtle.
Yeah. There,
Love
Do you guys
there it is.
remember
There it
the
is.
book
Turtles.
Redwall? Do you remember Redwall? You
No.
ever read
No,
it in like
no,
7th, 8th grade?
no.
Oh, this looks
Look
fantastic.
how cool this looks.
Oh man,
And just Disney killed it, you know?
this looks like such a Disney movie.
Yeah.
This looks like Fern Gully, but with better graphics.
Way
Don't
better
hate on
graphics.
Fern Gully.
Well, no, but he's right. This is.
No,
I
this,
see it.
This gives me Secret of Nim vibes, and it
Yeah.
scares me, and I don't like it.
Look at this. Oh, it's so rad.
Look at these giant turtles.
Anyways, take it away. I don't want to get striked.
Oh, they're trying to keep him going.
Barrett, take it
Do you,
away.
think, do you think they ever give him the berry?
Yeah,
Maybe
they got to
when they get
eventually.
to the
Fucking
place that they're
psycho
going.
mice.
Anyways, it looked really cool. It's canceled. Now it's done for good.
We'll see. We'll see
But-
where it lands, because I know they were trying to shop it around to try to get it more. I mean, we'll see.
The fact that this
You never know. It
stuff
might not
has
be
come
dead.
out, like, that's kind of how Deadpool got made, right?
Totally.
They leaked, footage. It's been taken down. We had to go find another link for this
Well,
footage.
correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the classic Hollywood. Hey, this movie's in production, and then someone buys the studio, and then the new
classic.
people just shit can all the projects that were happening before, except for Dark Phoenix, which is like, why would you let that one come out?
It was
But
done.
not everything.
It was
and
done.
why are we not just putting a fucking bullet in the back of New Mutant's head? That
don't
thing is
know.
like
I don't
a
know.
zombie with no legs.
Yeah.
It's just trying to crawl toward its next meal. Just pow. You know what I mean? Little 22. Don't waste the 9mm. 22. Pow.
It just bounces
I'm back
around
in
in there.
fucking ear.
Bounces around in there.
The amount of penalties up against New Mutants right now is insane. The only reason they're going into reshoots is to try and recoup some of that money.
My theory is that they won't even release it. I feel like they're going to put it out on digital.
Oh, they'll
Mm-hmm.
release
You think
it.
they're gonna
Not
try to
in
get
the
some money?
movies, Not in the theaters. but
Yeah,
they'll
that's what we're-
definitely do it.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think
yeah.
I don't know if
It's gonna hit Hulu
It's
or
gonna
something.
hit theaters for like a week, and then it's going straight to on demand.
Well, yeah. I mean, now that with that DGA rule, if you want to get Oscar noms, you got to put in the theater for at least
Of course,
a couple weeks before
absolutely.
it goes streaming. So you got to do that for New Mutants because that's getting nominated.
That's going to get nominated for
Yeah.
longest movie ever in production.
Poor Maisie Williams. Every time she does a movie or anything outside of Game of Thrones, we're like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, but that's every Game of Thrones character, and this is very. I mean, it's indicative of a big HBO TV show, right? There are not a lot of actors that were on huge shows like that on cable that were able to then transition and have a tremendous movie career.
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't
off
Rob
the top of my
Stark just in
head, I
something
don't
good?
really know any.
Yeah, he was in that Bodyguard movie. You were talking about.
No,
He was
wasn't a
actually
movie,
in
that was
Elton
actually a
John.
series.
Oh, is
He
that
was-
series on?
Yeah.
He was a side character in that though. But I mean, again,
He
he's
was
not.
the agent, or
He's not.
whatever.
What I'm saying is like, what's her name? Sophie Turner, who just was in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's it for her. She's not getting another big role
I
like
think a lot
that.
of
George Clooney, right, was on ER and then it moved to movies.
I'm saying like HBO shows, big HBO
Got it,
shows.
got
And George
it.
Clooney's an outlier because not a lot of people are
Yeah,
able to.
no,
make
you're
that.
right. That's
That was also a very
Well,
down.
we were talking about this too
Danny
of like
DeVito?
Tom Hanks.
what
was Tom Hanks
that
on?
Aaron
Bosom
Paul
Buddies.
hasn't really done a whole lot since Breaking Bad, kind of in
You're
that same
correct.
vein.
Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about. There was Kevin was asking about Breaking Bad yesterday because I guess there was some news they're trying to do something else.
Yeah, there's a tweet that went out that had like it's
We have Breaking
I'll
Bad
say
super
this.
fan
Yeah.
Barrett Courtney in the back, itching to get on the mic.
It's
I'm
very
sure.
okay. Lexi Gunner is Michael B. Jordan from The Wire. Lexi, he was like 15 when he did that movie or that show, and also The
Friday
Wire.
Night
I mean, but like that
Right.
doesn't change that though. That
What
is
I'm
still
saying
one-
is, it's
wasn't just-
But they're
tremendously.
outliers.
It's tremendously hard to have a huge show like that and then come off that and continue to have and to be a AAA actor who is opening movies. I don't mean like, oh, they're not gonna have a career because obviously Aaron Paul's been in stuff. Let us never forget Need for Speed. Let us never forget that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie alone just destroyed his movie.
But
career.
that fucked his career up, right? And that's what I'm saying with like Maisie Williams. Like, I hate to say it, but whoever at Fox was like, you know what we should do? We should cast all the people from Game of Thrones right now because they're definitely going to carry movies forward, and they're not understanding that when Game of Thrones dies, all of these characters' careers
But
will probably die as well.
New Mutants has some other people on it that are like good actors, right? Taylor, I know, Anya
I'll
Taylor-Joy.
put it this way.
Johnson.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's good, but these people, they're not movie stars. They don't open movies. Like they're not selling movies based on the strength of their
Not
stardom.
yet. They need to go like the
She's the
Robert
biggest name.
Pattinson mold of like, okay, so he was
Batman.
He was the Twilight boy, and then if you've seen
did
a
a bunch
couple
of
of his
indie
indies,
stuff, yeah.
and he is fantastic in these indies. And then he gets Batman. Everybody kind of freaks out because they think of
Yeah.
Twilight. But if you went back and actually watched his body of work, he's a really good effing actor. Like that dude can act. And I think a lot of those Game of Thrones characters, like a Kit Harington, who's great at brooding, but we've never seen him really do anything else. And to be honest with you, he wasn't terrible in Saturday Night Live. He was pretty damn good in Saturday Night Live. He
Underutilized
can- he
in
can act.
the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
Totally.
A lot of people talk about Michael B. Jordan on The
Oh,
Wire.
you're
Let
laughing.
me clarify Michael B. Jordan on The Wire. Yes, he was good. He was not the lead of that show.
He was not.
By any stretch of the imagination, right? He was not Stringer Bell, for Christ's sake. He was a side character.
He wasn't
that-
even Marlowe.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Doesn't end that well for him.
Just
right?
don't.
Michael B. Jordan is a phenomenal actor who built a movie career over the years with great movies, not the least of which was Fruitvale Station. He picked a great fucking project to come out of the gate with and picks really strong projects. What I'm saying is you look at people are saying Frankie Muniz and even Bryan Cranston, who
Frankie Muniz. Frankie Muniz.
well,
Frankie
Muniz
Muniz
was
retired
had a
at, like,
great
24.
show. Bryan can't because they were on the show together.
No,
Bryan
no, I
Cranston,
know, but
Muniz.
like Frankie Muniz was a name for
take
like.
it out. Let's talk about Bryan Cranston, right?
Sure.
Like he is not opening movies. That's unfortunate. He was huge on Breaking Bad, but he is not a AAA movie star that you can a bankable star that you can open movies with.
Here's the like I think the caveat on that one is Bryan Cranston. He did that Trumbo movie, got nominated.
Yeah.
Cool, but
That's
again,
okay.
that's not like a blockbuster.
Right.
But you know what Bryan Cranston does well is he opens plays on Broadway and sells those
Yeah.
Yep.
MFers out every single time he does it.
And I'll tell you what, you can become a multi-millionaire with
Doing
good shows
just
on
that.
Broadway. You can,
Yeah.
but I live in New York, so I
Yeah,
can't see
no.
him. And the last movie that I really remember seeing him in was, I think he played a president at some point.
He just
And
did
then
a movie.
he was in
Upside
Godzilla.
Down. Or
He was in
something?
he was in that first
Godzilla, you're
Godzilla,
right.
and it was so cool because he was the best character. They fucking kill him off in the first 10 minutes. You're
It's
like,
not great.
wow, now I've got nothing to care about this movie. So I don't know. We're off
That's
charts
the movie I
here.
was talking about. Yeah, let's wrangle things back and let's do some trailer talk. Talking about some trailers that we watched.
No, I do have a call in 3 minutes.
Oh,
Except
are
Joshing.
you gonna leave or?
Oh yeah, I have to. Josh, you want to sub in for? Have you seen any of these trailers? Did you watch the Charlie's Angels trailer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
get in
cool.
here.
Get in here.
Yes.
Come on, Charlie's Angels.
Get in here. All right. Well, the first one we're talking about, I hope you watch this, is
Did you just drink 3 Diet Cokes?
They're the little baby ones.
it's only the same as 2 Diet Cokes.
I think two. Yeah.
right? 24 ounces.
I know what you're thinking. You're like, are we drinking on this next show?
Oh, yeah, we are.
We got bourbon yesterday. Is it because you're here? Who knows?
You guys know me. Thanks for having me on. I watch your shows. I love you guys.
Get outta here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I came up here on a whim just to hang out with Scarpino, and I feel like I became really good buddies with all you guys.
I'm so happy that you did that because you're fantastic.
Oh, you guys are fantastic. Thanks,
a
man.
beam of glorious, warm sunlight.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You guys are too. This is great. And your wife is amazing too. So
thank you.
You guys are all great.
So the first trailer I wanted to talk about is The Current War. You watched this trailer?
War.
A current war? No, I didn't even. I don't think.
So
I heard
the
of it.
trailer itself, not a well-made trailer.
Okay.
Way too long. The first minute and a half I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I've seen this. This is the Nikola Tesla thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Who are the actors in it?
We got some Benedict
Michael
Cumberbatch,
Shannon, yeah.
some Michael Shannon, who I really like.
Is
Nicholas
Thomas
Hoult.
Edison is in it too?
Interesting.
So the reason why this got buried, as you can see, one of the producers on the film
Harvey
was Harvey Weinstein.
Did this get made? Oh, 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had no idea.
When you see stuff like this, a lot of it has to do with penalties on actors, right? So if it doesn't go, they have to pay them like a big sum if it doesn't go to theaters, right? So it's like, let's just release it and at least we'll make some money back so we don't have to pay the penalty.
The trailer looked interesting. It seemed like a cool story. It's about Edison and Tesla kind of going to war.
Totally.
Which AC or DC current? What are we going to be using? Yeah. But it's just too long. I wish they had cut the trailer in half. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see this movie.
I'm excited Tom Holland's in it.
Yeah.
Tom, and the thing with these I love, biopics. I love true life stories, anything. I love historical, not even fiction, like historical, nonfiction, scripted, whatever. I love those movies. But you can tell by a trailer like this that the movie is going to be really long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little too long for, to really make, as soon as you see a runtime
they've got a good cast that I'm interested to see them together.
Runtime 107 minutes.
That's it?
That's not even that bad.
Holy
That's what
I think it's
IMDb
just
is
a really
saying,
poorly made trailer.
Particularly short.
Wow. I would have thought you would have said 177.
Yeah, that's also what I was thought.
Almost 3 hours of Tesla versus Edison. Yes. I don't know. I mean, I don't know a ton about the story. All I know is that Edison lived in
It's
New
an
Jersey.
interesting story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth.
The fact that it's shorter makes me a little bit more interested in seeing it.
I'll give it to you.
Me too.
And Nikola Tesla,
crazy. He's crazy.
Crazy person.
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah.
Crazy ideas. And like the like some of his journal entries of like some things that he worked on, like a machine that would tap against the wall at the right frequency and it made everything shake. It's like, did that happen? Or is he just crazy?
Did he create earthquakes? Yeah.
But like, he's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge. Who's the guy that plays him? Nicholas
Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult. Who was going to be the other Batman?
Right.
Yeah. He was in that Warm Bodies movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that what he?
Yeah. Also in X-Men.
He's Beast.
Yeah, he's Beast.
Yeah,
and he's the young kid in About a Boy.
Oh,
there
that's
you go.
right. Shout out to Hugh Grant.
Yeah, solid movie. Really good stuff. Current War.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Reef Break on ABC? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I saw a commercial for it last night. It looks terrible.
All right, next trailer we're going to talk about is The Good Liar.
The Good Liar.
Meryl
Interesting.
Streep.
Nope.
No, you're right. Helen Mirren.
Yep.
That's who I meant. Helen Mirren and Ian, what's his last name?
McKellen?
Yeah.
From Lord of the
X-Men.
Rings. Oh,
Also
see?
X-Men. Also
Everybody's
X-Men.
got their thing. If you are right down the middle. If I say Ian McKellen, somebody always says X-Men or somebody says Lord of the Rings. Nobody is like, from...
Well, no, here we hate Lord of the Rings, so.
It's
Oh,
true.
really?
Yeah.
Except Andy, who's a
a
fucking
lot of
idiot.
walking.
I mean, honestly, he just does that for the internet.
Really?
Just a lot of walking.
He talks a lot of shit about Lord of the Rings when the cameras are off.
Oh, wow.
No, that's a lie.
Classic Andy.
I didn't want to commit to that.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
No. So I don't like the Hobbit movies that much, but I do like Lord of the Rings Two Towers. I'm a
Do
pretty
you
big
think
Two Towers.
it's better than Clerks?
Clerks?
I'm just saying, right now, if we had to sit. We shouldn't be doing this now. But if we had to sit down and it's like, here's Clerks or
here's Lord of the
any of
Rings.
the Lord of the Rings movies, which one would you want to see? Be honest with yourself and us, because they're out there watching. We both know. I can feel it. I can feel the answer. Let it come out. Let it just bubble out of you.
Clerks.
That's right.
This is why we bring Josh on.
I love Clerks. Like, I effing love Clerks.
Because Clerks is amazing.
Yes.
Let's talk about this trailer briefly.
Okay, sorry.
Me and Joey saw this in the theaters yesterday.
Yeah.
And it piqued my interest.
Yeah.
It's
This kind of looks a little bit like The Wife. Did you watch that Glenn Close movie where she
No, I
got
did not. It was nominated for an Oscar last year.
And she won the Golden Globe, but lost the Oscar to the Favreau. What's her name?
That's
Olivia
right.
Colman.
Yeah.
Gosh, she gave a good speech though.
Didn't she though?
good.
Yeah.
If you guys don't watch the show, I'm sorry I'm taking this off track, but if you
No,
guys
it's
don't watch
fine,
the
it
show
doesn't
Fleabag, if you guys
Oh,
That's on
I
my
did watch
list.
the show.
it's fantastic, and she is hysterical in that show. I mean, she plays the outlandish mother-in-law that's like a total weirdo kind of a bitch kind of a thing. She's incredible in that show, and then you see her in the Favreau, and
Just call it the favorite.
the
Don't do these Nick things.
Oh my gosh. No, that.
It's how they spell it. She deserved that Oscar, I
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah.
this movie does look very, very older period piece kind of, those Helen Mirren type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for any con artist movie.
Me
Whether
too.
it's like Catch Me If You Can, even going back to like The Sting, all of those, sign me up.
Yep.
Plus Helen Mirren, she's great.
And I like the way that the trailer was just like, hey man, here's the information. This guy's definitely trying to screw this lady. What's gonna happen?
Yeah. I dig.
Yeah.
And do you guys like movies like The Italian Job? Do you like
Yeah.
The Italian
Are you?
Job?
I love it.
All right. Good.
Good heist
Do
movie
every time
anytime.
I see a Mini Cooper, do I think of that scene where they're like racing
course you
around?
do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the
Yes.
house.
Do you know how many times I see Mini Coopers in the city? A lot.
Yes.
I spend a good
for
portion of my
parking
day
here.
thinking about The Italian Job.
Yep.
All right, so we're excited for this Good Liar.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
All right, excellent.
Let's
now,
talk about the most exciting
There
one.
we go, the last one. Charlie's Angels.
Guys,
Angels.
they're effing back.
I know.
I missed them. Was Full Throttle bad?
No.
Sort of.
You know?
But do
we
you
knew
still
what
like
was,
it?
But yes.
Yeah.
And we got the Beyonce Destiny's Child song.
Bless. Do you think that we're gonna get another like anthem?
Okay, well,
from
we
this?
saw at the end of the trailer, right, that there's like music from
Ariana Grande, Lana Del Rey, Miley.
so-
I think are the three.
Yeah. I think they're not teasing us with Beyonce yet because they want us at the end of it to have like a fresh Beyonce Charlie's Angel song.
I don't know, man.
You don't
That
think
seems
so?
like that's.
Do you think
that's-
she's too big for that now?
I think she's too big for that, and I think that like this movie's too small for it. You know?
Damn.
Yeah.
So, but she's singing all that music in Lion King. You think Lion King's bigger than Charlie's?
Yes.
Fuck out of here.
Don't even get through the whole question without laughing.
But what do we think about this trailer? It looks fun, right?
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
I don't think
No?
it's gonna be good.
What? No,
but
I didn't say
I'm
that.
still
I didn't say-
excited
I didn't
about
say.
it.
I thought it was gonna be good.
Oh, none of us thinks it's above like a 7 on the IMDb star.
No.
meter or anything
Absolutely.
like
Is
that.
Mick G tied to this one too, or is he out?
No.
Dang it.
He's
Okay,
out.
I really like him.
But here's the cool thing in this one. What I think is there's multiple Bosleys. So Jaimon Hansu is a Bosley.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks is a Bosley who
Love
also
her.
directed it.
Yeah.
It's her directorial debut. Forget who the other Bosley that they put in.
Patrick
It's an
Stewart?
older guy.
Yeah, Patrick
Patrick
Stewart.
Stewart.
You
So
forgot
other-
about Patrick Stewart.
Sorry. Yeah. I
Wow,
know.
Sir
okay.
Patrick Stewart.
And then you mock his baldness.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm eventually
Fuck,
going to be bald.
Josh.
I like. This is what I think. It's a badass move. I mean,
Also, something that I had completely forgotten about, Noah Centineo in this movie.
Yes.
Also very excited.
Gentileo.
Do we know who the third angel is? Am I missing what she's from?
Apparently she's in some British show that I've never seen
So we
before.
got Jasmine
Aladdin.
/ the Pink Ranger.
Yeah, Jasmine Pink Ranger.
We got Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, who the opening scene is badass. Like,
I've always enjoyed her. She
too.
She has a very monotone kind of way of acting.
This
but
is
I
the
think that it
most fun
fits.
she's
Yeah.
been.
This
Totally.
does look like fun, and her hair
Agreed.
looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would love, and you don't see it in the trailer, but you've got to imagine that there's like a Drew Barrymore or Lucy Liu or cameo, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's
Cameron Diaz, somewhere in there.
They've got to be somewhere.
I'm
in
interested to
I
see what
hope
they do
so.
with that.
there. Maybe like they're one of the Bosleys or something, or one of them is.
I
a
feel like
Bosley.
out of all of them,
Boslings.
I can see Drew Barrymore coming
Totally.
back the most. And that makes me excited.
She was sort of our lead angel, wasn't she? Drew Barrymore, or was it Cameron?
No,
Diaz?
it's
I feel
Cameron
like
Diaz.
Or was it Lucy Liu?
I feel like they were
No, I'm
pretty
pretty
like
sure it's-
evenly split.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Also, shout out to Charlie's Angels for introducing me to Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite. That shake
Okay.
and bake scene.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like the scene when they're welding on the boat at the beginning of Full
With Tom
Throttle.
Green. Oh no, the boat.
The boat. Yeah, it's a pretty good scene. Man. Charlie's
And the
Angels has brought
Pussycat
us-
Dolls part.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Charlie's
it's so
Angels has
good.
brought us like way more joy than you would have thought.
Right?
10 years ago or 12 years ago, whenever the last movie aired, was it 2003? So yeah, 16 years ago.
that we would still be talking about Charlie's Angel and this excited about a third movie, like a reboot of it. Come on.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Is it Tim that had Charlie's Angels posters all over his room?
Yeah, he had so many of them.
Like 17 of them, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think they found a bunch. Maybe no, you know what? I think they bought them. I think they went and bought them and he put it all over his room.
It's like when you go to the movie and they give you like the freebies.
Yeah.
No, it was just the full size
posters.
theatrical posters.
Fuck yeah.
It was something
Very
interesting.
on-brand.
That's fantastic.
But
I dig.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm excited
Yeah.
for this. My biggest wish is that we get a good song out of it.
We're gonna get a single. They're not. I mean,
weren't they playing kind of the single throughout the trailer?
Yeah.
Is it the single? Do we know?
I think it's the Ariana Grande song in the trailer, if I'm not mistaken, because they
Believe so.
mention her.
If
first.
they bring her in the movie at some point, that'd be so cool.
yes,
So cool.
her, Miley, any of those people.
Yeah.
Aquafina, bring her in.
We saw an
Lana Del
Aquafina
Rey.
trailer last night that looked incredible.
It's a movie we talked about
The
before.
Farewell.
The Farewell, yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
It looks
incredible.
phenomenal.
I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I heard the two movies that we really like can't miss that are going totally under the radar are Late Night and The Farewell.
Really? Late Night?
Yeah, I've heard
Late
No
Night
way.
is great. Yeah,
Late
from
Night's
everybody that
trailer
I
looks
work with-
awful.
awful, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
That's
you going to see Midsummer?
Will not see Midsommar. that is too close to Get Out for me.
oh man.
Because you saw
Get Out wasn't scary.
Get Out was effing terrifying.
Get Out was scary. I agree.
Get
with
Out?
him. I just didn't.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm thinking not.
You think of the
Different.
other
Are you
one?
thinking of Us?
Yeah.
No.
Us was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like Get
Both
Out
of
was
them were scary. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were both very
I
scary.
feel like
Remember
it was
when
a
he's in his mind
thriller,
and can't move?
But it's
terrifying.
not like a lot of jump scares.
No, but it's
No, but
still
it's the
pretty scary.
long scares that you go home with.
Yeah,
And you're just sitting there being like, what if?
yeah.
Interesting.
Like I don't go to my in-laws without thinking something
Yeah.
weird is going on.
All right.
All
What
right.
do you got?
Now I'm going to tell you what is out on streaming services
Love
that
it.
caught my interest.
Oh.
Tell me.
These are
Lay it
for
on me.
United States region. So if you're somewhere
Sorry,
else,
international
look it up. But
people.
look it up because there's always good stuff out there. Sorry, international people. On Hulu, we've got Broad City, the complete season 5. True Grit.
The movie?
2010, yeah.
Oh, nice.
The
Yeah.
girl from
Yeah.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon Prime, we have Juliet Naked, which is
I
a
don't think I've
movie
seen
about some guy who's like obsessed with a musician, and then the musician meets him and steals his girl. And it like the
Oh, it
trailer
has Rose Byrne in it. I
was
like her.
interesting.
And Ethan Hawke.
Stuck in a long-term relationship with Duncan, an obsessive fan of obscure rocker Tucker Crow. When blah blah blah, life-changing encounter. He meets. I feel like I've seen this trailer.
I think, yeah, we've seen the trailer.
oh, it's a Nick Hornby book. That's
Oh, there you go.
that gives some
it
context
just-
to what you're getting into. It's not
It was an
bad.
interesting trailer, and I wanted to throw it out there. Also, The Spy Who Dumped Me is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
A movie we
Honestly,
talked about today.
Yeah, way better than I ever expected it
Interesting.
to be.
Interesting.
I
I have this love-hate relationship with Kate McKinnon. Like
Yep.
a lot of times I freak out for her, and then other times I'm kind of like, did you have to be that weird?
I like how
you have
weird
to
she
be-
is.
yeah.
Every time I'm just
Really?
having such a blast.
See, and there's those
Every
camps
time,
too.
yeah.
Is people just live for her.
I like her. I think they just need to use her strategically,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that they did in yesterday.
I agree.
Oh, you guys saw yesterday.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yesterday.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, you
I
saw
liked it,
yesterday. Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not like a huge Beatles fan. I mean, I like them. I
Yeah.
get the Beatles, but like I understand they're very important in the history of rock and roll. But I'm not like one of those diehard Beatles fans. And I was like, oh, okay, this can. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The lead actor, don't know his name.
No one does.
Himesh Patel.
Yeah, he is.
There it is.
He's a very charismatic dude. Like,
Yeah.
he's a
Absolutely.
very, very
And he's
Absolutely.
not really been in anything as far as I
No.
remember, right?
No.
He
And-
seems familiar, but I don't know from what.
Ed Sheeran back acting after the
Gosh,
Game of
so
Thrones
Oh
funny.
debacle.
man! So I didn't even mention how much I enjoyed Ed Sheeran in all of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
he has
EastEnders.
a
That's
very,
what he's in.
very. What is it?
EastEnders.
Oh, EastEnders.
British.
He has a fantastic scene where they have the bet.
Yeah.
The ending of that scene, I thought was some phenomenal acting on his end.
He is a very, again, obviously, I mean, he's sold 1 billion albums. He's a very charismatic dude, and he's great on camera. He should have never gotten that hate from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones
was-
fans are like
yeah,
Star Wars
it's-
fans, very toxic at points. Yeah.
Well, slow down, okay? Slow down with the Star Wars fans.
No, yeah, Star Wars fans are toxic.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if something bad
Chill
happens,
out, dude, all right?
they put a...
Chill out with your hot takes,
Oh, no.
okay?
Just
It's
opened
not
up
your
a can
only
of
hot
worms,
take.
Josh.
Yeah, there's a lot of landmines.
We
when it
talked
comes
about
to
it the
movies.
last time I was up here about your hatred of Last Jedi.
Okay,
Okay, we're just gonna.
we're
keep
not
moving
supposed to
on.
talk
not gonna-
about that on
no,
air.
I know,
People
I
get
know.
all worked up
Oh,
like
okay.
me.
Yeah. No, but your story about the whole thing is
The
very
rash,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rash, yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Wait, Julie and Nick, where's it streaming?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, I totally watch it
Yeah.
streaming.
And then we have on Netflix, we've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Very
Exciting
exciting.
stuff.
That's huge. Yeah.
All right, movies out near you in theaters. Annabelle Comes Home.
Nope.
Oh heck yeah! I just rewatched The Conjuring this week.
Guys, I hate them. I hate the. Paul loves those
Greg
movies
and
so
I
much.
are trying
I know.
so hard to
And I
push
hate
Conjuring
that.
in review.
I hate that
but
so
you kind
much.
of like scary movies.
No, I don't. I
mean, you
have to
just-
go and watch them.
Yeah.
Midsummer is an exception.
Does the wife like him?
She loves them. You know, and then I got to sit there and pretend I'm not a coward. You know, it's.
I have no such hopes
Yeah.
of ever pretending I'm not a coward when it comes to scary movies. No.
Even if you see them at home, no.
Oh man.
Okay, quick story. I saw
love
The
good Josh
Conjuring
story.
at home.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, a couple of friends came over that I work with, and they were like, "Listen, we're going to set up some cameras, and we're going to watch you watch The Conjuring." And they sat on my couch, and they pulled out. It was at night. You guys, I didn't want to go back in my apartment for like 3 or 4 days because I still thought that witch with the clap was in there. The movie still haunts me to this day.
Hereditary like screwed up Tim so much that he like locked his bedroom door.
Yeah.
Whenever he was home alone. Mm-hmm. He was like, I just don't want to risk it.
We went across. Our office is in Burbank. It was during the day. We went across the street. Again, this has become this thing in our office. Like, let's mess with Josh and send him to a scary movie. So we went into Hereditary. There was 3 of us, and then there was 6. This was in the summer. There was 6 teenage girls in like the front row, right, and then us in the kind of way back. And we're walking out, and this teenage girl, couldn't have been more than 15, was like, "Are you okay?"
All right. I'm keeping the show on track.
Yeah.
Yesterday also came out.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it. I recommend it. And then also Ophelia is coming out.
I don't know
This
what
is
that
the Daisy Ridley movie.
Oh.
The Hamlet through Ophelia's perspective.
Interesting.
It looks really heady and mind trippy. If I had time, I would go check it out.
I'm not a Shakespeare guy, and I just can't. My mind doesn't equate Shakespeare. Why are you a big Shakespeare
No,
guy?
no, not at all. I just wanted to give you a stern look.
He says one thing about
wanted to
Last
judge.
Jedi.
All right. Now it's time for your topics. Last week I asked, are you going to watch Endgame again? Everybody said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's being re-released. People are really excited to go see it. So
Are you going to go to the re-release?
Time.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
Whoa, nice.
I'm bummed because I don't have time to go.
I probably won't. I mean, how long is the re-release going to be in theater?
3 hours and
No, I don't know.
I think it's just for like 4 days,
Yeah.
5
Oh,
days.
wow. They know how to make that. They just want to get above Avatar.
Yeah.
They want to beat Avatar.
And
It's
I
smart.
hope
It's
that they
genius.
do.
Me
I
too.
hope that they do.
Me too, because I'm not an Avatar fan at all.
So the nanobiologist says, I'm actually going to see it in 4 hours, so yes, I'm in. Charles N says, I've seen Endgame 7 times, and yes, I'm going to
7
for the
times.
re-release. I'm looking forward to get to 10 once for each Avenger that went back in time. Well, let's stop there.
A little spoiler.
Yeah. But according to that, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. And then Chris says, 100% I would see this re-release. Both to see the extra content and help the push over past Avatar. Sadly, it isn't at any theater near me. I suppose I could go watch it a normal version
And-
for the 4th time.
and you
I'm
gotta
kind of
imagine
surprised
they're gonna-
AMC's
Sorry.
didn't get
I thought you were done.
in on this re-release. I'm just go ahead.
Sorry.
AMC
And-
did get on the re-release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So
Yeah.
go and check. Make sure that it's not like there now and you just didn't see it earlier because it may be there.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
No. And you know they're going to re-release it before Oscar time too. They're going to release it like a month if it happens to leave theaters before Oscar time, because it may not. They're going to re-release it again because they want to get at least, I would imagine, a Best Picture. I would imagine Robert Downey Jr. Best Supporting. They're not going to put him in Best Lead Actor. I think they'll do Best Supporting because of the ensemble cast nature of it.
Yeah.
And then they'll get nominated for every special effect.
Best
Obviously.
Supporting is a great place where they
Totally.
have
Yeah.
a real chance.
Totally.
And
And
it'd be
maybe-
really cool to watch a superhero movie get
Yeah, and maybe even Best Supporting for Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Yeah, as Captain America. But they're pushing Tony Stark for sure. Real
Yeah.
hard.
That makes sense. With,
I mean, yeah. it's a body of work,
Yeah.
if you will. Yeah.
Alrighty, for next week's topic, I'm really bummed about Mouse Guard getting canceled. Seeing that, talking to Gary about it, which I didn't do, but whatever. Well, I didn't do it today. It actually getting canceled. It's a real bummer. Like, it looked cool. What movies have gotten canceled that you were really excited for? Let me know. Patreon.com/kindafunny. All right.
Do you have an answer?
No, that's not how it works. Write in next
But we're
week.
not going to get Josh.
Write in next week.
I'll
Call
text
in.
you.
Okay,
Call and leave
perfect.
Nick a message, and we'll play it.
Nick!
Call it about 12:48
Yes.
p.m.
Oh
next
my God.
Friday.
Got it.
All right. Thank you so much for watching with us. If you want to follow us on the social medias, you can go at.
Josh Macuga.
There it is. Oh, it's really easy. Good job.
Nailed it.
Or at.
Joey Noel.
There it is. Or at Kinda Funny Kevin.
Boom.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Go out to the movies and watch Yesterday because it's fun. Yeah.
I agree.
See you next week.
See you next week.